Good morning, my little miscreants. This is Ricky from String Theory Fabric Arts, also known as STFA. And today's little segment is going to be on vinyl, all kinds of vinyl. Our agenda is to talk about marine vinyl, mirror glitter vinyl versus mirror glitter canvas, clear vinyl, printed vinyl, and cork. Usually I tell you how long this video is going to be. I got no clue. Also, I am going to try to keep the language clean in case you're watching this with little ones about the house, but it's me and I can't guarantee that my mouth won't run away with me. So let's start with why. This morning I have got a laundry list of things to do. Among them, get out some designs for next week's drop and to do some laundry, dishes, clean the house. So I set myself up my little list and I said, okay, you're not allowed to do any design work until you clean the house. Then I started cleaning the house and I got the toilets and I'm like, I don't want to clean toilets, I'll go design, but I can't design until I clean the house. So let's find something else to do instead of clean house and do design work. So I got on the internet, which is a great waste of time, and started trolling some of my embroidery boards. And I came across this woman on one of my embroidery boards who was a condescending twat waffle about vinyl. Talking to this poor woman like she was a mouth breather. And I wanted to go, look, Karen. Her name wasn't Karen, but we all know the Karen. Not everybody has $1,000 worth of vinyl that they do production work on. Some people are, home embroiderers. They're making a fidget spinner case for their grandson. They're not going to order $1,000 worth of vinyl. They're going to order one 9x12 sheet from somebody and another 9x13.5 sheet from one of the printed vinyl dealers, and that's going to be enough for them to do like 4 fidget spinners. So go away, leave this woman alone. And then I realized, oh, wait a minute, I am Karen. I've got $1,000 worth of different kinds of vinyl from different distributors and sellers and producers, and I can do exactly what I'm bitching at Karen not doing, tell you a little bit about vinyl so you don't have to spend $1,000 to find out what I know. So let's start with marine vinyl. Marine vinyl is going to be what most of us use for our in the hoop projects. Fobs, lip balm holders, dice trays, sanitizer holders, fidget spinners, whatever. Most marine vinyl comes, no, I don't want to rotate my phone, stop it, comes with a woven back. So when you do a bean stitch or a satin stitch across the front of this, it doesn't separate. It's like fabric, okay? Now, there is a wide variety and difference in marine vinyl. This marine vinyl is stiffer. It has less pull on the weave and less pull on the weft. Other marine vinyl, still woven, but has a lot more pull on the weave and the weft, and doesn't go back to its original shape as easily. So if I were embroidering on this one, I'm gonna use a heavyweight cutaway stabilizer. Something like this, where it goes back to its original shape and doesn't have a lot of give, I'd go ahead and use a medium weight tearaway on this, unless the design is super dense. One of the things that happens on your softer marine vinyl is if your design is super dense, it's going to cause all kinds of separation and it won't go back to its normal shape. Okay? So I've got a couple of pieces right here just to show you. And I'm putting some serious muscle into this. When you pull this apart, this is a stiffer marine vinyl. It goes back to its normal shape. This is a softer, floppier marine vinyl. When you put some muscle into that, it's like silly putty, and it doesn't go back. Now imagine 1,000 needle punches right in the middle of that. You're gonna get serious distortion. So always look at the type of marine vinyl and your pattern. If your pattern's really dense, you're going to want a heavyweight cutaway. Let's talk about, There we go. Let's talk about mirror glitter vinyl. I love this stuff. I love it like nobody's business. There's a couple of problems with it, however. It is woven, so you're not going to have to worry about at the bean or at the satin it pulling away. But because of this mirror finish, it wants to catch on anything. So if you are using this as a back for a fob, a dice tray, a lip balm case, it's going to want to stick to your needle plate, that metal plate on your embroidery machine, and it's going to cause skipping. And you will see it as looping on the top and the bottom when you're done. So what I do, and I've heard a ton of tricks, I'll tell you about a couple of them. What I do is I tape WSS to the back of my hoop, and that WSS glides along the needle plate. I've heard tape a piece of paper over your needle plate and this will glide across the paper. Well, that's great and wonderful, except I change my bobbin like most people change their underwear. Literally every other project I need a different colored bobbin. So taping and untaping that piece of tape becomes a pain in the butt. I heard somebody say, oh, I just rub a little talcum powder. Yeah, I'm a little hesitant about that because talcum powder will get down where the grease on your gears are and it'll cause it to clot. And then you'll get a whole bunch of problems that might necessitate a trip to the embroidery doctor, and nobody wants that. I've also heard go ahead and use tearaway, just tape a piece of tearaway and then tear it away. But after years and years and years and lots of tearaway, you know it leaves little pieces and you sit there with tweezers and pull it all out. WSS, you rip it off. If there's any left, there's a wet cloth, boom, we're done. Here's a little shortcut for you guys. Marine, our mirror glitter canvas, or glitter vinyl is kind of thick. I don't know if you see how thick that is. You can find marine glitter canvas that is much, much thinner, and that will help you out if you're using cam snaps, because even the long prong cam snaps, when you've got 4 layers of this puppy stacked up together, that's a lot for it to get through and get a good grab. But if you can substitute some of your mirror vinyl for mirror canvas, and it sews just the same, it's just a lot thinner, then that's an idea. You don't necessarily have to do it, but it's something I do from time to time. Now let's talk about clear vinyl, which is going to be hard to see because, you know, it's clear, my husband, the engineer, pointed out that this stuff is an abomination to the scientific world because everything else, the higher the gauge, the thinner the vinyl. However, with clear vinyl, the higher the gauge, the thicker the vinyl. This is a piece of 16 gauge, 16 gauge clear vinyl. 16 gauge is what I use for all of my trapped fobs. All of the ones with the gewgaws and doodads stuck between the clear and the mirror or marine vinyl. 16 is what I found works best for me. If you go lower than that, as you stitch, it's going to cause a perforation and it's just going to separate. Don't go down to a 12 or a 10. You want 16, 18, or 20. All right, now the whole reason for this thing was printed vinyl. Printed vinyl is the best and worst thing that has ever happened to home machine embroidery. You guys recognize this stuff, don't you? You can get it with any design printed on it, which makes it great for all of those custom projects. However, not all printed vinyl is created the same. Remember when we looked at the back of our marine vinyl and we've got this weave? That's what holds that plastic together. If you look at the back of a lot, not all, but a lot of your printed vinyl, there is no weave. It's a compost compressed mush. The problem with that compressed compost mush is once you get a stitch line on it, it wants to rip. All right? How many of you have gotten done with a zip bag and then all of a sudden, right along the bean or the satin, it's just ripped apart like perforated paper? The reason is because it does not have that melted in fabric weave. But there's a way to fix that. And before everybody goes, okay, well, who is the crappy dealers that's selling the shitty vinyl? And who's the one that's got the good vinyl? It's not the sellers or the dealers. All this printed vinyl, and some of it is so super awesome, all comes from about 6 different plants in China, okay? All of our printed vinyl dealers, they all order from the same 6 dealers and manufacturers. Sometimes it comes like this, and sometimes it comes like, where's my other piece? There it is. Sometimes it does come with that fabric melted into it so that it won't pull apart, separate at the bean stitch. Our dealers have no control over this, guys, so don't go raging at them, all right? This is a manufacturer problem, but we can fix it because that's what we do. We're embroiderers and we're a creative lot. We can fix everything. How many of you recognize this stuff? This is iron-on interfacing, and it has a weave to it. This is lightweight, and this is, oh my God, heavyweight. I do not have any more medium weight because I used it all up. What I do is when I look at a piece of my printed vinyl and notice that it does not have any of the weaving threads in it, that it's just this compressed composting and printed on top, I grab it, grab an iron, and grab some iron-on interfacing. Set your iron at the lowest temperature your iron-on interfacing requires. If you set it too high, you'll melt your vinyl. Then I just iron my interfacing onto the back of my printed vinyl, and suddenly it's, oops, okay, well, it's as good almost as marine vinyl. You really have to get a tear going in order to get it to perforate and separate, okay? That same trick of iron-on interfacing will work for your cork too. Cork's becoming big and fancy. I can get it in all kinds of colors, and everybody wants to make coasters out of it, etc. The problem with the cork is that it separates just like your printed vinyl as well. If you iron on some interfacing to the back, you will give it a lot more integrity. So I covered printed vinyl, I covered marine vinyl, mirror, glitter vinyl, cork, clear vinyl. Did I cover everything? I believe I covered everything. So, if you have questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. Today's edition of STFA, Things You Might Want to Know, is brought to you by Karen the Twat Waffle, who is being condescending to some poor schmuck on the internet. So, don't be mean. If I helped you, let you know. If I wasted your time, sorry, but at least you didn't have to clean a toilet. Talk to you later. Bye.